Now, our next guest has been mastering his craft since childhood. Simon Burke is an award-winning actor and producer, holds an Order of Australia. He's also entertained our kids for decades.
It's play school.
That should do it.
The cat for the job. You squeeze in there with Humpty. Oh, it's a bit of a tight squeeze. And yes.
I think that's balanced. Now we can give the toys a seesaw.
Now, Simon is starring in
Come on,
another
toys.
iconic Australian production, Moulin Rouge, the musical. Simon's on the couch with us to tell us more. It's so nice to see you.
Lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
Looking back at the play school days, loved it. It also had some adult humour. You could sort of hear Noni having a bit of a laugh as well. In fact, there's a very famous scene involving Hickory Dickory Dock and a song that goes a little bit awry. Let's listen to that.
Aha! There is a mouse that runs up the clock. Hickory Dickory Dock. Do you know that one?
You got your mouse ready? Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one. Boing! The mouse ran down. Hickory Dickory Dock. You ready to run up the clock once more? Come on.
What was going on there? Who was behind the adult humour on the show? Was it really Noni? Is she the naughty one?
Noni, look, Noni had a bit of a reputation for being, fantastic at the double entendre. That was the early days of my play school. I actually did the show on and off for about 25 years, but that clip there is from my very early days. And you felt with Noni like she would just take you by the hand. We shot it as if it was live in those days, so if something went wrong, you just had to get out of it because there was a lot of dishonour in having to, if you mucked up and say, oh, I've got to go again. So we just if things mucked up, you just had to keep going. And it was such great training, and she was just the most wonderful person to work with.
Oh, and now you are back entertaining adults. Moulin Rouge.
On the stage.
Well, on the stage, I mean. My apologies. I thought you guys were going to jump in with a question there.
Well, I will. Yeah, you're the master of the stage.
Yeah.
You've been in them all. Les Mis, Chicago, Phantom of the Opera, Pippin with Kerry Ann.
Yeah.
What is it about the theatre that's so special for you?
Look, I think it's about 50 years ago this year that I wandered up on a stage at the age of 9, and I've kind of been there ever since. I was a child performer, and then I went straight, didn't go to drama school. I learnt my craft sort of in theatre and on screen. And look, there's just something about, I mean, obviously, any of us that go and see live theatre, there's something about the live experience that we all love so much. It's what we missed so much during COVID. But for me, there's also the whole family. I've done 130 stage productions. That's like 130 families that you've had.
Oh, my gosh.
And there's just a kind of camaraderie and a sort of, there's something about it that just makes you just want to keep coming back. Yeah. And, you get a... Oh, goodness, look at that.
That was from Pippin, right?
See, that's why. Don't put... Yeah, that's me as the king in Pippin with the lovely Kerry Ann.
I cannot wait to see Moulin Rouge. It is one of the most hotly anticipated musicals. Of course, it opened on Broadway and then got COVIDed.
Yeah.
So this will be the only production on when it opens in Melbourne. Yeah. Which part are you playing? Tell us what you're
I'm playing Harold Ziedler, who, if you remember from the film, was played by Jim Broadbent. He's the owner of the club. He's the guy that, invites you into the Moulin Rouge, that gets the audience kind of going. He's the boss. He's kind of like the dad of the whole company, kind of the mum of the whole company. And he's the guy that the club is a little bit in trouble in the story. He's trying to get the club going with a new show, and Satine, his star, suddenly meets Christian, who's a young bohemian, as you'll remember from the movie, who walks in off the street, and then it all goes crazy. It's the movie, but it's the movie on steroids. I mean, I think we all remember how amazing Baz's film was, with those incredible songs and that kind of Baz style, which is just the mishmash of stuff. It's that, but on a stage, and times 100. It's going to be a pretty wonderful, just a lot of fun.
And I can't believe you've done that many stage shows and you've never performed at the Regent. This is going to be your first time opening in Melbourne.
Yeah, the Regent Theatre, one of the most beautiful theatres in Australia, which has been refurbished, especially sort of almost a custom built for Moulin, because when the audience walks into the theatre, into the auditorium, they are actually going to be in the Moulin Rouge. Some of the audience are even going to be sitting amongst the performers and amongst the stage. And yeah, so I'm very excited about going to Melbourne for that.
Oh, that's
Love
awesome.
it.
The whole thing about I love Moulin Rouge, and your cast it's quite diverse as well. Who can we expect to see in it?
Well, the great thing about what's happening in Australia finally at the moment is on our screens and on our stages, we're finally starting to reflect who we are as a country, and our Moulin Rouge is absolutely no exception to that. We have an incredibly diverse cast. We have people at the very beginning of their careers, people who have been around for a million years, like myself. Like, for example, our leading man, Des Flanagan, it's basically his first big role. He's a boy from Beechworth in Melbourne, and he's playing opposite Alinta Shinzi, who's a big musical theatre star who's kind of like an icon in our business. So they play the lovers. Just a wonderful cast. I'm just, there's 34 of us on stage.
Unbelievable.
It's going to be incredible.
The audience will be very...
We start rehearsals in June, and we start performing at the Regent from August. We're sitting there until Christmas at least, but tickets are going really well, so getting quick.
How good is it back for theatre to be back? It's so good to be back.
Yeah, it's wonderful,
Moulin Rouge, the musical, is playing at the Regent Theatre in Melbourne from August, and tickets are on sale now. Simon Burke, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Such a legend.
Took us.
Stay with us. We are back right after this.